Hi everybody and welcome. This is Laura with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters. So glad you're with us. Could you give us a thumbs up real quick? I'd appreciate it. So today we're going to look at an Olivetti-Underwood. This is a Studio 44 and I would lift this up, but this is so tall it's going to bump into, like I just did, bump into my camera. So you can go to our website and look at the back side and it'll say Studio 44 on the back. Now, as far as the year, there is, when you look up on the database, there is a wide range. It could either be a 1952 or somewhere between a 1962 and 64. And I could not find a consistent theme. I'm suspecting it's closer to the 1964. So, if you want to do a little more research on that, you can. The product listing has the serial number in it. That serial number fits both dates as well as photographs from people who claim to know whether theirs is 52 or 64, and it looks the same. So I have not had time to dive deeper into why there's such a discrepancy, a whole decade. I suppose if I sat down and took the time to do that, I'd be able to figure it out, but I have not done that. So, all that being said, it's either a 1952 or a probably 64 is what I would think. Okay, but this types beautifully. Oh my goodness, y'all. Not only is the exterior in excellent condition, and like I said, it's bigger, so I can't really lift it up for you, but definitely go to our website at jotandtittletypewriters.com, or actually I have the product listing link here in the video, and you won't be able to see this without that link if it sells. So once it sells, it disappears. It's still there, you just can't find it unless you have the actual link, so use the link in the description below. But it types beautifully. It looks beautiful. This is an amazing machine. So let's go ahead. I'll show you how to use it and then we'll do a typing demo. Okay. So let's start with the, oops, that was inadvertent. Okay. Let's start with the back here, your carriage, and everything is so clean on it. Your margins, you just press and drag. All right. Like that. Here is your paper holders. That's kind of an unusual place to put it. I think it kind of gets in the way of the margins, but nevertheless, there they are. So I'm going to bring my margins in a little bit further because I like narrow margins. This is your carriage release. So you hold your carriage while you press down. And oh, that is so smooth. I love it when it feels like butter. And it does. It's like velvet, okay? And that bell sounds nice and clean. I really like that too. The bell, by the way, tells you you're at the end of your margin. So if I were to move the margin out here, the bell wouldn't ding until I got all the way out here. There you go. Looks like it dings about 5 characters before the end of the margin. And when you get to the end of your margin, let's say you're in the middle of a word or a thought and you don't want to hit the return handle, then you have a margin release, which is this button. It's not marked, but it's this one right here, okay? And we'll cover that here in a second. On the right side, that's your paper release, and that releases the tension of your paper. We'll look at that in a second as well. On the left side, this is your line selector. When you hit your return handle, it'll advance 1, 2, or 3 lines, or 0, it kind of locks it. Also, when you get your typewriter, or when you store it in your case, this does come with the original case, you're gonna need to fold your handle back like that, and that's for storage. And this comes in very handy for one of our lovely typewriter covers, which, hold on, I just have one sitting right here. You just, typewriter dust covers are great. That keeps all the dirt and grime off of them without, if you don't want to have to actually, oh, I have it on backwards. Don't want to have to, if you want to keep it on your desk and you don't want to put it back. And so this is the large, and you can just go to our website and find the large typewriter covers. Now, obviously, we have a lot of styles, and this is just one of them. The Olivetti is a little bit harder to fit. It won't fit perfect. You'll see it's a little tad short because the Olivetti is so long. But if you look through, you can see the measurements of each one and find the one that's the deepest, and that will fit just fine. Anyway, all that to say, make sure you fold it when putting it away, and when you take it out, unfold it. Okay, and then this is also a carriage release on the left side. So I'm gonna move this to the left so I can pop open the top, and I just put both hands here and just pop like that, and you'll see the ribbon. Now, this is the original spool. We have hand wound fresh ribbon on it, so you are getting double the ribbon that you normally would on any of our typewriters because, oops, we've hand wound it. That being said, when it is time to change out your ribbon, you'll need to send us your spools. You take them out, send it to us, and we'll wind fresh ribbon for you. This will last you a long time because once you get to the end of the spool, it's not the end of your ink. There's a lot of ink in this ribbon, and you just go back and forth and you reverse the direction of your ribbon right here. On our ribbon, you do need to manually reverse the ribbon, and it doesn't matter which side, and it's just a real gentle push, and that reverses the direction of your ribbon. Now, when you take these spools out, you have to unscrew the caps and then pull the spools off. When you put the caps back on, please make sure you don't put it too tight or too loose. You may have to jiggle it. What I like to do is, get it so that it's kind of stops. You feel that it's like tight, and then you stop and then take like a quarter turn back. That's what I like to do, because if it's too tight, your spool's not going to turn. If it's too loose, the cap's going to fall off and you're going to lose it. Okay, so again, just kind of go until it stops and then back like a quarter turn. All right, so and then this is like your, it determines how hard these type bars are going to strike your paper, okay? So that's all that's for. All right, let's go ahead and pop this back on. So you're gonna see grooves right here on either side, kind of a cut in, and that goes against this metal piece that's sticking out. So you wanna do this, the back end first, make sure kind of goes back there, and then pop it. Oops, hold on. And then pop it down. There you go. Okay. And let's go ahead and put some paper in and do our typing demo. Okay, so let's do the typing demo. And I had already loaded the paper. Let me load it again, hold on. So if you pull this lever forward, that releases the tension on the paper and you can just pull it out. So you just set your paper right here, turn the handle. It comes through real nice. Make sure it goes underneath this metal bar. And make sure it's even. Mine's a little uneven, so I'm gonna release the tension again and go right there. Okay, so this is actually, I've had to do a couple of takes because remember how I talked about the tension? Let me just show you, because this is gonna be really important. The tension on the top of the spools. So if you get this and you're not familiar with the Olivettis or this type of spool, it's probably going to take you a few minutes. Give yourself a lot of grace to figure out what tension is appropriate for the spools, because if it's too loose, it won't turn. If it's too tight, it won't turn. And so I had one side that was too tight. I loosened that just a tad, but then this side was a little too loose, so it wasn't catching and turning. And so it took me a few times to just get the right tension on there. And the reason I knew is that I would type a few characters and then the font would get really faint, which tells me that the ribbon is not moving. So there's two things. Either you're at the end of your spool and it needs to be reversed, or the tension isn't right on your spools. So that's just a big FYI. Nothing wrong with the typewriter. It's just learning how to get the right tension on the top of the caps of the spools there. So let's go ahead and do our typing demo. The lowercase L is going to be our number 1. So it's 1964 with a question mark. Olivetti Studio 44. And if you love the Olivetti Studio 44 typewriter, which really is a beautiful machine, then check out our puzzles on our website, because we have a puzzle with the Olivetti Studio 44 in it. And if you just go to JotAndTittleTypewriters.com and then go to the shop and the puzzles, you'll see it right there. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, so this is perfect. The font is now, I mean, I can tell I have the tension just right now, because the ink is nice and even and it's not getting darker and lighter. So it tells me that tension is just right. And this is a fabulous typeface. So clear. It's a serif and it's very handsome. I love it. So this is going to be a good, long project typewriter. If you're going to be doing lots and lots of writing, I highly recommend this machine. The keystrokes are just so refreshing. You know, part of what we do obviously is repairing typewriters, because we get them in. A lot of times they don't work. And so Rob will repair them, send them up to me, and then I'll test them out. And sometimes they're still not working, you know, and they have to, you know, I'll type for a while and then they stop working, or I'm struggling with it and it has to go back down to the shop. And that's just part of testing and repairing. And so this week we've had a lot head back down to the shop. And so to find one that is just so working so beautifully and so well is just like, oh. And I gotta tell you, you guys need to snag this one. It's so nice. Okay, we'll keep going. So the bell just went off, so that means, you know, hit the return handle. Okay, there's the bell again, but this time I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so now it's gonna stop. It's completely locked up, and that's where you use the margin release. And it's not identified, but it's this button right here, and you just hit that. And I can finish my sentence and then go to the next line. Okay, let's try out the red. So the bell works, but it is faint. I don't know if you could hear it on the video or not. I could hear it as I was typing, and that's really what matters. But I got to tell you, this typewriter is going to get like an A+++ from me. Not only is the exterior almost, I mean, it just looks brand new. It looks brand new and it types like it's brand new. This is a fantastic machine. Snag it if you are, especially if you are going to be doing a lot of writing. If you're looking for something to stick on the shelf, please pass this one by and find something else, because this does not belong on a shelf. This belongs underneath your fingers, okay? For all you creative minds out there. Thanks so much for watching. Please click all the links in the description below if you are not purchasing this particular one, but just watching for info purposes. Thanks for watching, but please visit our website and shop some of our other products like our ribbons or our pads. That helps us be able to continue to do these videos for you. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.